Okay, this topic's going to be related on companies protecting their intellectual property rights. Now, some people think, these companies should. Some people think it's actually bullying by the bigger companies to these smaller individuals that are using their copyrighted brands. It could be a competitor or something like that. Now, some of these companies and larger corporations, they spent millions of dollars on research and development, often decades of time to develop their prospective brand services and so on. And people often try to exploit this by using their traded and copyrighted stuff. And some people, even what they'll do is they'll try to buy certain website domain names associated with that company, and often attempt to sell it back to said company for a large amounts of money. And so what these companies are trying to do is trying to get back their intellectual property rights to do so. And actually, often these people that do so often do it maliciously. It could be I think in one case, I think it was these people tried to start a iPhone 4S site, and it actually pointed to a porn site, I believe. And there's actually in some instances where if these companies don't make an attempt to protect their intellectual property rights, they often will lose that right later on in court. The courts say, well, this was happening several years ago by several companies. Why didn't you try to defend it then? And then, so it's not necessarily the company wants to do so, but they have to, or they lose that right in court. And we're actually going to take a look at one court case to give you an idea, which is it was Apple and a website called iPhone5.com. Now, iPhone5.com is a forum site based around the iPhone 5s. Supposedly is going to come out in the future. Now, Apple, now this is not a court case, legal court case, but they actually put in a filed a claim with the World Intellectual Property Organization, or WIPO, and try to gain back the intellectual property for that their brand. Now, in some cases, people think it's fair use. Now, fair use normally applies to copyrighted material or copyrighted content, such as written works, music, movies, and TV. Now, in one instance, there's a court case that dealt with fair use under trademarks. Now, trademarks and copyrighted material are really two separate things. Trademarks really has to do with a brand name, a company name, a company icon or picture or something like that. That would be more a trademark. So some people are saying this is a fair use of that. Now, there was a landmark case in which the court did fair use of using a trademark, with some exceptions. If that the use of that trademark might cause confusion, they may rule against it, or they would side with that company. Because I'll give an example. The use of the iPhone5.com. Let's say somebody, the general public, might get confused because they want to find more. Let's say about an iPhone, they'll actually search it in a web browser like Google, and this iPhone5.com website pulls up as the search results, and they say, oh, okay, Apple must have made this for the new iPhone 5 coming out. I want to see what the next one's going to look like. And so, thinking perhaps it might be an Apple website, they go to it and find out, well, it's an internet forum. That's not really necessarily what they're looking for. And so that obviously causes confusion. Now, if they name the website iPhone5forums.com, obviously that wouldn't be as confusing, because it's a forum website based on the iPhone 5. So doing that, the user can decide, well, okay, this doesn't really have to do what I'm looking for, so I'm going to look at another search result. And so, I guess this battle is kind of going on between these companies and these other people in an attempt to use trademarks and intellectual property or even copyrights. And tell me what you think. I mean, do you think these companies have a right to protect their intellectual property, or you think it's bullying of smaller competitors or individuals, or do you think it depends on the case by case basis?